Hello everyone. I thought I'd make this video because my hair has definitely been going through some changes right now, and I don't know if anybody has noticed it or has not noticed it over the course of all of my videos, but I definitely have noticed it and have been kind of struggling with some of the pattern changes. And yes, even though I'm a licensed hairstylist and I did hair for 20 years, when my curl pattern changes and goes through a transition, which it's done multiple times, it changed throughout each one of my pregnancies in the past because of hormones. It does kind of create some specific problems, and I thought I would come on here and talk about it and share with you some of my struggles and some of the things that I'm doing to kind of work with that or deal with that. And I thought maybe this could be helpful for any of you who might be going through something similar. So how has my hair changed? Well, I'm going to be putting some pictures probably over here and maybe a split screen so that you can see the difference in the curl pattern from before versus now. And I think I'll probably be putting up a picture from about a year ago. I might write on there the date of when that picture was taken, but my hair was definitely curlier about a year or so ago. And I'm gonna also show pictures of the back as well, and I'll show you the picture of the back of my hair, how it is now. But you can kind of see the difference between what it was and what it is now. And especially over here, I have like more looser waves, and I have, I even have like some that are straighter down here on the ends. So, but the crazy thing is I've got this piece right here that's straighter on the end, and then it's curlier up at the top. And that's also part of what I'm noticing right now with my roots. And I think this video is going to wind up being really kind of chaotic and discombobulated because I don't know, just kind of spouting things off as I notice and remember them. But anyway, so bear with me a little bit, but it might be a little bit all out of order. But anyway, so that's some of the things that I'm noticing, and I'll show you the back of my hair right now. So this is the back of my hair. Hopefully you're able to see all of that and kind of tilt back. The plan is when I'm editing, I'm going to be putting in the side by side of the back of my hair with the current of the back of my hair. And what you might have seen in that picture from before, the root area had really straight hair. Like it was pretty straight up at the roots. And the ends, or the, well, actually everything from about here down had a lot of curl, except for like one strip kind of running down the back of my head, which was a lot straighter. But I had a lot of curl at the ends, and they were actually nicely formed curls and mostly kind of spirals or ringlets all the way down. And the ends didn't like poke out in weird directions like they kind of are these days. And they just kind of curled around quite nicely. I had more curl. But I did have all of that straight stuff, and that straight stuff that I had up at my roots has now grown out and is in my mid-lengths and ends. So I have like the waves over here and the straighter ends that you see, and my hair is kind of, and it doesn't end on an actual like where it curves around. It kind of pokes out in some spots just because it's straight on the ends. It doesn't curl. So I am going through kind of a phase where what used to be there is no longer there or is getting cut off, and then there's something new coming down the pipeline too. So as it's growing all out, because I do have a lot more root curl up here now, especially on this side, but also in the back, than what I did in that older picture where it was pretty much straight. So it is also going to be changing yet again. I'm starting to grow in different hair than what I currently have, which is the straighter stuff that used to be up here. I know it's all kind of weird, but it's all making its way down. Let's talk about why this is happening. So I mentioned that my hair had changed before during my pregnancies, which it did. In fact, my second pregnancy, my hair went completely straight, and then it came back curlier than what it had been prior to when it had gone straight. So this is not new to me, and apparently my hair is very sensitive to my changing hormones because I am perimenopausal right now. And I did do a video all about your hair and menopause right here. And I kind of spoke about this a little bit in that video, but I didn't want to make that whole video about just this because there's other things that it can do to your hair. So that's what I wanted to focus on in that video. This one is to talk about specifically what's going on with my curl pattern as a result of my changing hormones right now. And that is what's going on with all of the various curl pattern changes and straightening of my hair. Then now it looks like it's going back to not straight anymore. So that is probably why, is just all of these crazy hormonal shifts that I'm dealing with as I go through this whole perimenopause and menopause phase of my life. And there's nothing that I can do to really change that process. And it's there. I can't change my curl pattern. I mean, I could probably perm it to make it all the same, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just ride it out and see where it ends up because I don't know where it's going to end up. But there's nothing I can do to really change this process as it's happening at all. And the most that I can do is just kind of learn how to work with the hair that I currently have and keep adjusting as it keeps changing. And again, I don't know how long I'm going to have to do that for. I don't know when it's going to stop, and I don't know what it's going to look like when I stop. I don't know. But what I did, first of all, is I gave myself a haircut because one of the things that I was noticing is that my hair was really fuzzy looking, like not frizzy, but just fuzzy. It was really undefined and just kind of fluffy, not in a good way, and just kind of, it just didn't even look shiny. It kind of looked dull, which is really weird because my hair is normally quite shiny. And it just the way that it was looking because of the pattern and texture differences in my hair, it took that away. Yeah, just really undefined. So the layers that I had were getting pretty long, and what I did is I took off a couple inches in length, and then I took off a lot with the layers. So probably a good 6 inches off of my shortest layer. I took a lot, like a lot. And that definitely helped because the extra added length of those layers and the weight from that was doing my hair no favors whatsoever. It was really dragging it down and stretching out the pieces that are already pretty lazy and straightened anyway. So it was really stretching those out and just kind of exaggerating the different textures that I have going on. So shortening that definitely helped. Plus I did some blending in some spots to kind of blend some of the wavy or even straighter areas in with where I still have a little bit of curl. So I did a little bit of that as well, and that definitely helped. And it helped to perk things up, and it also helped me to kind of see what I have coming in at my roots because of that weight being taken off. So now I can kind of see that I have some more root curl and different things that I'm going to have to adjust to as soon as those make their way out to my mid-lengths and ends and start just disrupting how everything is working. But the haircut was definitely key. Also, it kind of made my hair look more healthy by taking those off. Even though my hair wasn't unhealthy and it wasn't dry or damaged, it kind of started to get the look like it was. So taking all of that weight and stuff off of my hair really helped with that. And so I'm much happier overall with how my hair looks, and it gave my hair a little bit more shape, and I was able to get a little bit more volume out of my hair where it was kind of just being really flat and heavy right up and through here and then kind of fluffed out at the bottom. And now I don't have that so much anymore. So overall, I'm much happier with my hair now that I have shortened it a little bit and shaped it up a little bit more, and it's got a little bit more bounce and it doesn't look quite so fuzzy and dry and kind of weird. So I'm happier with that, and that's one of the things that I've been doing. And now another thing that I've been doing, because I've also noticed that my hair has gotten softer and slipperier, and it's always been super soft and slippery, but it's gotten even more so. So I've been adding things into my routine like salt sprays that give my hair a little extra grip and grit. And I am going to be talking more about salt sprays, volumizing sprays, and curl enhancing sprays in a different video that'll be coming up probably after this one. So if you're interested in those, that's coming up. But using these types of sprays has definitely been helping my hair with that really super soft, slippery effect. And it's just been giving me a little bit more grit and grip. And one of the things that my softer, slipperier hair does is that it kind of lets loose and doesn't hold on to its own curls and waves nearly as much unless I have something like a sea salt spray in there to help it to kind of hold on to that. Because really super healthy, soft, slippery hair doesn't hold on to curls, whether they're natural or not. And of course, the looser your hair is curled or waved, the less it holds anyway. And then if you also have super soft, slippery hair on top of it, then it really lets go of those curls and waves quickly as well. So I was experiencing all of that, and using a sea salt spray has definitely helped. Also, that sea salt spray helps to give my hair a little bit more definition, because if you remember, I mentioned that I am seeing less definition overall in my hair. So using that has brought that back in there. So even though I can't say that I look like I just walked off of a beach unless I use a little bit more, or if I use it on drier hair, then it'll give me a little bit more texture. But for the most part, it has just really helped to give me some texture instead of the fuzzy blown out look, and kind of helps it to maintain that texture. So that's one of the things that I've been doing to kind of help with that, to help with the loss of texture and kind of counteract some of that less definition, more fuzzy, more blown out look that I really haven't been liking a whole lot. And I've definitely been a lot happier with my hair since I've done that. So the haircut plus using the sea salt sprays, both of those have been instrumental in getting my hair to get some of the texture back to it, some of the definition, and get rid of some of that fuzz. And then the other thing that I've been doing to also help with that is to go back to more firm hold products. And I've always been somebody who really loves firm hold. I love a lot of hold. And so that's nothing new for me. But actually for this past summer, I've been doing more of a lazy routine, and I'll put a card right up here to that routine, where I did a lot less and my hair was definitely, not as defined, and it was more fluffy, but I didn't really care so much because it was hot and I was putting it up a lot. It's still pretty hot. We haven't really moved on to fall here. It's the beginning of September, but we're not going to have fall weather until way later, because it usually stays hot for quite some time, but it's not as hot as it was. So I am starting to leave my hair down a little bit more now. So because of that, because I'm not constantly putting it up in a ponytail pretty much every day anymore, I do want my hair to hold a little bit longer and maintain the style that I put in it on my wash day. So going back to really firm hold gels and just firmer hold products in general, and also going back to a routine with more products added in there, because I'm somebody who, if I'm not going like the lazy route to just throw my hair up later on or whatever, I do like using multiple products to get the results that I'm after, because each product does something completely different. So I have gone back to using multiple products. And one of the things that I've done while going back to multiple products is also I've changed out some of my more moisturizing and emollient type products for things that are a little bit more protein heavy, or even a lighter weight version of those products. So like with curl creams, I've gone back to using the Briogeo curl cream because it's got a lot more protein and my hair is responding better to that now. Or even the Evolve products, which I feel are really good for fine, easily weighed down, super soft, slippery hair, that they just tend to work really well to make it less soft and slippery, but are also lightweight so that your hair can spring up and not be weighed down and dragged down. So I've kind of shifted in the types of products that I'm using. I'm still using the same types of products that I was before, but I've just switched to lighter weight or more protein heavy versions, and switching to those different products, and also going back to a more involved routine with more products has really been helping too. And it might seem kind of weird that putting more products in is going to make my hair less weighed down, but it really comes down to the products that you're using and whether or not they're right for your actual hair type, and then also the amount of each product that you're putting in, just making sure that you're not using too much of each product, because that will absolutely weigh your hair down. So my hair really doesn't get weighed down from all of those different products in there. It actually gets the best out of it. So going back to a more involved routine and more hold and switching out my more moisturizing type products for more protein heavy or lighter weight products has definitely done a world of good as well. So with all of those things, the new haircut, the sprays that add a little bit of grit and grip to my hair, and swapping out my products plus going back to a more involved routine has really helped me get back some of that definition that I had been lacking. And it's also helped with some of the shine, because my hair, I feel like, because of the more defined nature of it and the less fuzzy and blown out it is because of being over moisturized, it actually has a little bit more shine now too. So I'm happy overall with all of the changes that I've made, and I'm happier with my hair and how it looks now that I've done all of that. So what am I doing to even out my curl pattern or whatever's going on? Absolutely nothing. So curl training doesn't work. It's only temporary. It'll increase the definition while you have it in there, but as soon as you wash your hair again, it's gonna go right back to where it was. You can't permanently change your curl pattern by curl training. You would have to use like a perm solution if you wanted it to stay, but doing it with like just conditioner in there is not going to do that. I actually have a video all about that right up here. But yeah, so I haven't been doing that, and I don't do any finger coiling or finger rolling or anything like that. Just however my hair dries is how my hair is. And the main reason why I don't do any of that when I'm styling is just because I'm lazy, to be quite honest. It would take too much time, and I just don't want that. So that, and I just let my hair be however it is. I learned a long time ago just to accept my hair for what it is. And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes I do look in the mirror and I'm not too happy with it, but I'm also just not going to spend the amount of time necessary to like go around my whole head and finger coil and try to get it to look perfect, because perfect is a concept that doesn't really exist anyway. And the thought that there's something wrong with my hair is wrong. That thought in and of itself is what's wrong. There's something wrong with my brain. There's nothing wrong with my hair. So rather than doing things that are going to change my curl pattern, I'm instead going to do things that are just going to help it be a slightly more defined and less fuzzy version of itself. But I'm not really going to sit there and work all that hard to try to change it into something that it isn't. And now my whole career as a hairdresser, I've always been really big on trying to get clients to embrace their natural hair, whatever that is, whether it's completely straight or it's really curly. I've tried to get people to embrace that rather than to fight against it. I can't really be telling other people to accept their natural hair if I'm not going to accept my own natural hair. Now, I have nothing against, anybody straightening their hair occasionally if they want to straighten their hair. I used to go back and forth between straightening it and leaving it natural. And I just have been in a phase for the past few years where I've left it natural instead of straightening it. But I'm not opposed to either one of those things. There's nothing wrong with playing around with your hair and doing different things with it for fun. But to sit there and constantly fight its nature every single day, all the time, just because you feel societal pressure to do so because you need to look a certain way, that's where I draw the line. Hair should be fun, and it should be all about doing whatever you like when you look in the mirror and playing around with it, and not being pressured to have it look a certain way, even if that pressure is pretty much coming just from yourself. So I'm just gonna continue rolling with whatever changes come my way with my hair, as I have in the past, and it's gone through multiple changes, and it could potentially go through multiple more changes. I don't really know, but I'm just gonna keep rolling with it and keep working with it, and probably continue to update you on this. If you're interested, I could continue to talk about the different changes that my hair is going through and what I'm doing with it at each phase as it transitions to something else, and talk about how I'm dealing with that transition to something else. So let me know in the comments if that would be something that you would be interested in, is following me along on all of that, so that you can kind of take some of those tips that I'm using for my hair and use them on your own if you're going through some sort of transition. So just let me know in those comments down below. So I think I've come to the end of the video. I've said, I think, pretty much all I needed to say about this, or all that I've wanted to say about this, and covered everything. So hopefully any of you who are going through anything like this out there have found this helpful. And if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.